allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. All for being here. Our board has adopted policy and procedure 1400, meeting conduct, order of business, and forum, which are available on the district website. This policy ensures that all meetings are conducted in a civil, orderly, and business-like manner. Whether you're a board member, staff, student, or guest, we all follow the same standards of civility during these meetings. Excuse me. Starting July 1st, 2024, all regular board meetings are audio and video recorded and available on the district website in compliance with RCW 4230. These recordings, which include board comments and public testimony, will be kept for at least 1 year. Public comment is required at regular board meetings when final action is taken. We value public participation, and each regular board meeting includes a public comment period as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Comments can be made verbally or in writing. Written comments must be submitted at least 24 hours before the meeting and must follow the board's standard of civility. Public comment is limited to 30 minutes with each speaker allotted 3 minutes. You cannot donate time to other speakers or speak more than once per meeting, even if time remains. This period is for the board to listen, not to engage in dialogue. The board will not respond to comments, questions, or challenges during the comment period, and silence should not be interpreted as agreement or disagreement. However, the board chair may ask for clarifications, and district staff may follow up with individuals after the meeting. Please be mindful of the impact of your words. Each speaker is responsible for their own statements, not the district. Certain remarks could violate privacy laws or be considered defamatory. If you are unsure about the legal implications of your comments, we recommend seeking legal advice. In closing, we ask that everyone help us model for our students what a respectful and inclusive community looks and sounds like. Thank you for being here and for your contributions. Okay. This is going to be a quick meeting tonight. Okay. So I need a motion to approve the regular school board meeting minutes for Thursday, February 27th, 2025.
Make a motion we approve regular school board meeting minutes for Thursday, February 27th, 2025.
Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Also need motion for approval of the special school board meeting minutes for Thursday, March 13th, 2025.
I'll move to approve the special school board meeting minutes for Thursday, March 13th, 2025.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, don't believe have any public comments, is that correct?
No.
Okay. Okay, and then I will need a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, go ahead.
I did.
All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Lisa. Okay. You're up.
We'll go ahead and start with enrollment. My papers go. And this is the kind of time of year that we're going to start talking about enrollment because it affects the major budgeting for the following year and how we're going to project the numbers for 25-26. And with that being said, so unfortunately, for just the K-12 count, we're down 12.68 for the month of March. And we are losing a couple more at the elementary. And so last year I did do a lot of work on the budget projection, and so next month I will have something to propose, but, I'm not going to take into account the, birth rate and all these other factors, because I think our numbers kind of tell us from the following year what the next year's going to look like, and so I will be doing some numbers on that. So at this time for K through 12, our number is 454.44, and the reason why we have some of those .44s is we have some students that have IEPs that are not here all day long. They're here for a portion of the day, and that happens too, like with our partial Running Start students and some of our Skill Center students and so forth. As far as TK goes, which is completely separate funding, we're at 27 for an average of 20.43. And then Running Start, we're still, must be the same kids hanging in there because we've been consistent 8.24, and then we're one higher for Open Doors. And that program has become pretty popular, so we'll be working with the counselor to see how many students we're going to have there next year before I make that projection. I'm going to go to payroll real quick. It was a little bit up from the previous month, and a lot of that is because at this time we do the sick leave buyouts for those people that have an excess. They don't have to buy it out, but it is an option. And so it is up a little higher. Plus, a lot of people were out sick, so we had a higher sub-rate. So we have excessive use of sick leave. Anyhow, so 814,500. We with Mike saying something about the resignations. So a lot of those people have been here a long, long time. So they have a lot of sick leave, and they will get to buy that out as well. And then somebody like Linda has some vacation time, and so we are working on to see how that's going to affect the bottom line here. But
I will see, in February each year, the business manager sends out an email to all staff saying, do you think you might be retiring next school year to start that budget process? So if we know a year in advance, then we include it in our budget. But I don't know that we only knew one of the current ones, I think, going into this year's budget.
yeah, and then at the end of the year too, we have to do those compensated absences, and we're kind of looking at those people that are of age, but they're still hanging on. And we're kind of, but I mean, they are of age, and so that is always being factored into a possible payout.
I think it's a chunk of payout.
Yeah, but we have to, I mean, that's just another thing that the state makes us do, all the compensated absences for vacation and for sick leave. That's two separate
On
ones.
the sick leave, it's like, I just.
It's a
looked
quarter
at
of the dollar, yeah,
Mhm.
of a whole, yeah. So, back to February, so our revenue for the month of February was 932,122. Expenditures were 922,584. We're down in both areas, to be quite frank about that. So, we're at a negative 154,468. And the good news is, and there's, a little chart that you guys probably have seen a different view in here. So we're at 48.07% of our budget revenue. But our expenditures are below at negative 218,083. We will be spending some money. We have a lot of grant carry stuff that we're working on right now. And so, and that's at 47.88%. So for this month of February, it's kind of weird because we're always a month behind, so it's hard to switch gears, but 432 and dollars. Well, that was because Linda left on vacation, so we had a couple of people.
their money.
It was 303 to be exact. Can't unsee that number. So then with our ending fund balance at this time, we're at where are we at? $2,029,070.58. And then I'll turn this a little bit and, so obviously our revenues are a little bit higher this month as our expenditure, so our use of our net fund balance for this year is $418,460. Which I think when we budgeted it, we thought we would be down like 900,000 overall, so we'll see how that all pans out. Any questions? All right. Yeah. Oh, you want to see the graph? I'm sorry, I didn't show that. So see if we went up a little bit, Mike. Not a lot, but a little bit, so, you know.
So that spike, we were just starting with.
Yeah, we're down to 443 if you see like in December,
Right.
and then we're coming up a bit at a time. 9,539 this month, or February, and then the previous month, 15,005. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is a report from here. Jordan Law. This is Jordan Law Student Board Representative Report. Sports, middle school has started its wrestling season, and soon middle school girls basketball will start as well. I don't think we have a middle school girls basketball
No, we
because we
don't.
didn't have enough girls sign up for it. Whoa. And middle school wrestling is done.
They just had their final thing at
Yeah.
Cascade, I think that's a little.
Yeah. Is this February's report? Okay.
No,
Track has started, true. Coaches are Mary O'Connor and Jason Miller. Track has a total of 16 to 18 participants. The first meet is Wednesday, the 19th at Mount Vernon. Baseball has started. The baseball coach is Mr. Wayand with occasional assistant, and now assistant coach Dallas Newby. And Mr. Adams helps, and there is a total of 13 participants. The first game was March 25th at Orcas Island, so they were there 2 days ago. They didn't win, but talked to the players, and they said they were going to practice the skills they needed to win. Hopefully today they're playing.
It got canceled.
Oh, it got canceled because of the rain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The field was too wet now. so-
Oh, okay. Softball has also started. The softball coach is Iris Nevin with occasional assistant coach Peyton Sanchez. There's a total of 10 participants, and the first game is also at Orcas Island, March 25th. I don't know how they did.
They lost.
They lost, okay. And they have a game today, or do they get canceled?
No, they're playing.
Oh,
it.
okay, they're right down
Against Orcas.
at home.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Now, which one of you is the WIA rep? Is it Paul? Thank you, Janet.
See, I'm telling you.
You are.
On top of it.
She is.
That's because of Adam.
That's
why we didn't do the WIA.
Spring women's basketball starts March 12th.
It's a preseason.
Oh,
They
okay.
always
It's
do
a
that.
summer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, and, because boys are in the summer.
Well, they'll be
It's a
next.
spring league, the boys could be.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if they're started. but-
Okay, and ends May 12th, I didn't know that. With the exception of spring break, practices are every Wednesday and Friday. The coach is Adam Culver. There are a total of 8 participants playing spring basketball. Games are starting March 24th.
And they won.
And they won?
Just-
Nice. Games are held at SBC. Oh, that's nice. At school. March 16th was an early release for staff training, and students got released at 12:15. There are we did the student-led conferences. It's reported that the high school had 90% parent participation. Tolo was finally held. It had been postponed twice because of basketball and wrestling going to state, and we wanted everybody to participate. It was a success, and sophomores raised the money that they wanted to raise. And then the executive ASP has marked and made sure that all board reports, executive meetings, and general meetings are assigned and all in order and updated. So this isn't a huge audit focus, your ASB, because ASB, many examples of ASB not being tracked properly. And so Lisa's been like, I need this report.
Well, it
I
has
need
the
this."
biggest area of internal controls
Yes.
because of things coming and going and different people handling money and
Yeah.
transferring back and forth, so.
So was Jordan the treasurer? Did she,
No, she must have been the secretary because she was on it.
she got it all done? Yeah, so it was Jordan herself who got that all cleaned up.
Yeah.
So it's all up to date.
Your turn now, again.
Two things, just the update on the Skyward to cumulative migration. So, as I said, so our migration is set for the third week of July. We'll go dark for a certain number of days where they'll migrate all our data from Skyward to cumulative, and then Skyward for us will be no more. All
We
districts.
will have access to Skyward for historical stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
but
we won't be
no
using it.
longer using it actively,
Yeah.
yeah.
so, cumulative is the replacement product for Skyward. This wasn't just us saying we want a new product. It's any district that has Skyward must at some point migrate, and just, because Pam probably didn't know this, the reason we are migrating now is because Linda and Shirley are retiring. It did make a lot of sense to hire somebody, train them in an old system, have them try to go through migration, which requires knowledge, historical knowledge, and then learn a new system. So we were put in to a cohort to migrate faster than districts migrate. Usually it's a 2-year process, and ours is 1.
And that
So,
one is really about 7 months.
yeah, 1 is about 7 months.
So-
And, yeah, and it's, so what we have to do is we have to have our Skyward data clean, and on the budget side, it's pretty clean. And so they've been, what's the thing where they dump the new data into cumulative?
The TLA.
TLA, so they,
Training, learning, again.
yeah, so it's like a sandbox, to practice, but they use our own data. So the business side is clean, and they put the data in the,
The business size is much easier to clean because it's so concise,
yeah,
where the student is harder because you have parents, you have emergency contacts, you have,
courses.
different courses, different grades, different attendance, there's just a lot more that touches on the student side, so.
Yep.
And honestly, it's just been something that we've been cleaned up for quite some time, but this is forcing us to do, so.
So we had a bit of a panic about a week ago with, there's no way we could do this, the student side is too much of a mess, and so we did inquire with NWRDC if we could not migrate the student side, and they said, sorry, you're all on platform, you must do it. So we just have to buckle down and make it happen, but with our new business services moving to Northwest ESD in the fall, I shared with you, it's not that September 1st, we just all of a sudden do it, there will be a transition period. And so we met with them to say, because we have to migrate, what can they start taking on earlier from Lisa as the business management or accounts payable or payroll, so that we can be freed up to get the student side done. And so they're coming up with a proposal for how much that will cost and when that will start.
So it's not just a cleanup, it's a cleanup and then the setup and then the training. So that is a short period of time to do all that again. And they've been using cumulative for 6 years, maybe going on 7. And so the gal that Kara is very familiar with setting up the fiscal side and, where my background is more on the student side, so I'm going to tackle that more of the setup there and get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to divide and conquer, I think.
Yeah, so Lisa won't have to do, so for example, reports don't carry forward from Skyward to cumulative, so all of our reports have to be created new in cumulative. Well, Kara's done it for multiple other districts, so she'll just do it, right? And it will take her a day versus somebody learning how to do it and muddling through it, so.
That's not like time in the report, that's a form and.
Well, you have to choose the fields you want to pull in, and the parameters and the ranges and,
Account numbers, I mean, it's just a lot, yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
It'll be
So,
fine.
so that's.
It'll
the
be
idea.
fine.
I think it's actually, the migration is the week of the July board meeting. So the board packet the financials for the board
Yeah,
meeting
we'll
will
be
have to be
on it.
done ahead of time because Skyroot will not be available
Well,
for 7 to 10 days. Yeah. Be a good time to take vacation. No, actually, we're required to all be here, right?
Yeah, for questions and stuff.
Yeah, so if they say this isn't working, fix it, so it's
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, so as you saw, there were several retirements in this week in the board packet, but we know of some others also that are pending, they just haven't come to the board yet. And so the conversation came, well, what do we do for retirements? I know a couple years ago, there was when Mary Janda and Dana retired, there was something outside in the graduation setup, of course it was pouring down rain, I think. And so, and is this a public thing, but if we do it for one, do we do it for everybody? So this is what I've settled on, and you can give me your feedback. May 13th, in the Commons at 3:30, we will celebrate the graduation of Jackie Gallagher, Jim Newby, Debbie Mines, and Randy Sweeney from his AD position, and anybody else we find out is retiring. And it's anybody is welcome to come, but it's really for staff and close friends and family to come, and we'll have cake. And it will just be, that somebody closest to Jackie would do her presentation and, just keep it sweet and simple for each of them. Now, having said that, I am sure each of them will also have their own retirement party someplace else. You know,
Jim's.
Yeah. so, but this would be the school district's
That's good.
recognition.
That's good.
And that's it, that's my report.
Okay. Let's see, so no recognition, no old business, new business, right? Taking a motion for approval of the donations from the Classified Employees Union, PSE, and the Certificated Employees Union, USBEA, in the amount of $1,830 for students who attend the FBLA State Business Leadership Conference in Bellevue, April 26th.
I move that we approve of the donations from the classified employees union, PSC, and certificated employees union, USD. $30 for students who attend the FBLA State Business Leadership. Bellevue, April 23rd through the 26th, 2025.
Good job. Good job. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. And thank you very much to both
Yeah.
PSE and USBEA, because that's very, want for students to be able to do that. Okay, so on that same notion, do we have a motion to approve of an overnight FBLA, Business Leaders of America trip to Bellevue, April 23rd through April 26th, 2025, for the State Leadership Conference?
I move we approve the overnight FBLA Business Leaders of America trip to Bellevue, April 23rd through April 26th, 2025, for the State Leadership Conference.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and then on Tuesday, Carrie presented us with the 2024-25 school improvement plans. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024-25 school improvement plan for Humphrey High School?
I've got a question about that. How was that doing related to the accreditation about it?
It's a piece of it. So first we did a comprehensive needs assessment that took all the data, and that's in the Tuesday work session, board doc. And then from that comprehensive needs assessment, we say, okay, you need to only focus on 3 things, and so that's what this is.
I move we approve the 2024-25 school improvement plan for Concord District.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And then I need a motion for approval of resolutions to invest 1502 and 1503.
I move resolutions to invest 1502 and 1503.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. No public comments
Nope.
on non-agenda items. Meetings, will be a community forum, Tuesday, April 1st, here in the boardroom. And then the next regular work session will be held Tuesday, April 22nd at 6. And next regular board meeting will be 6 PM on Thursday, April 24th. So
What is our topic again?
It's gonna be where are we at with the capital projects levy? Which, just briefly, we're just started collecting the money for it, but I think anybody that shows up would be more interested in, okay, what are you starting with? Like, what projects can we get done this summer with what we think we're gonna get money-wise? Because it's so spread out, but kind of a graphic of how we collect the money and then how we line that up for the projects.
But that's why we have a piece of fund balance in that capital funds project too, so we can know that's going to be replenished, you know, so we have that money there. But we do have a lot of capital project grants right now too, so it's kind of an in and out right now. But, so hopefully, you know, like, depending on the first project and how much it costs, we'll have that buffer in there.
executive session, so meeting is adjourned.
Tell your friends about this community forum.
Yeah.
You should each get